everything I got wrong in my 20s. This is not necessarily a video aimed at people in their 20s, because you could be in your 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s still making these mistakes. And I know a lot of my friends and family are still making some of these mistakes. So let's just dive straight into them. Number one. So growing up, me and my brother were ridiculously frugal. I think it's probably just that money mindset of lacking in, so let's save every penny in case of an emergency type mindset. So I had about, I think, £15,000 in my savings account whilst I was in university. This was from birthday money. I would save every single penny. This was from my part-time job when I worked at Peacocks. I also got education maintenance allowance while I was in sixth form. I used to get dinner money from my parents and save every penny, or I'd buy a packet of Skittles and then wait till I got home to eat sandwiches. Ridiculously frugal. And then when I went to uni, I decided to live with my mum and dad, and then any maintenance loans or grants that I had throughout university meant that I was getting money coming in, plus I was working in Marks and Spencer's, and I was doing quite a lot of hours in Marks and Spencer's, and I was saving every single penny, and I had like a very small buffer for fun. I still managed to have loads of fun throughout uni and everything, but yeah, it was relentless how much I was actually saving compared to spending. And you know, back then, I used to like chase people for 20 pence if they owed me 20 pence. Like that would annoy me if somebody didn't pay me 20 pence. But now I'm not like that because of what I should have learned in my early 20s. What am I getting at? I'm getting at that keeping cash in a bank because it feels safe is one of the most stupid things you can do financially. So my bank, I'm with RBS, and they pay 1% on savings. Well, inflation currently is 3.4, I think, at the time of recording this. So my money is actually dying every single month if it's in a cash account, like RBS savings account. And I know a lot of my friends keep all of their money in cash savings accounts like this, and so do some other people that I know well into their 30s. Why is this a mistake? So if I had put that money into stocks and shares account when I was, 18, it would be doing a thing called compounding, which comes on to my next point, is that if you don't understand the compound interest, quick Google, quickly ask ChatGPT and ask it to explain it to you like you're a 5-year-old. In fact, let's do that now. In grown-up words, you put some money away, the money earns interest, and next time you earn interest on your original money plus the money invested. So a way I like to think about it, so you put £1 in like a sweet, that £1 generates 10 pence of interest. And the interest rate is 10%. That's what the S&P 500 is, which is a fund, the US fund. So now you've got £1.10. And now you're earning 10% on that £1.10, not the £1. So then the next day you've got even more, and then even more, and it grows. Whereas when your money is in an account that's only offering 1% interest, every day it's dying by about 2% because inflation is about 3.4. So I know it's a little bit confusing if you don't know what the hell I'm talking about, but if you can just familiarise yourself with one thing, I would say familiarise yourself with the power of compounding, and I would definitely try and move your money out of a current account or a bank savings account. Even Monzo is paying 2.75 on interest on their savings accounts. So even if you're with like NatWest, RBS, anyone like that, moving it to Monzo savings account on 2.75, still lower than inflation currently, but it's better than your 1%. Another mistake I financially made in my 20s was giving up my business to go back into full-time work because I assumed this would give me financial security. And guess what? 6 months later, I didn't pass probation, mainly because I was just not interested. I wanted to run my business. And then I ended up being worse off than I was if I had just carried on with my business. I think it set me back massively. But one thing I would say to you guys is don't always rely on your job for financial security. Make sure you have got, I know everybody says this, but make sure you've got an emergency fund that is sitting in a savings account. So say it is sitting in Monzo's 2.75 savings account. Make sure you've got at least 3 months worth of bills outgoings saved. So it doesn't have to be your salary, it could just be the bills. So if you are on your arse, you've got the money to pay the bills for the next 3 months when you find another job. I think that is really important. Because job doesn't always mean financial security. And the way the job market is at the moment, it's actually really difficult to find a job in like 3 months, because I've got friends going through that at the moment and it's not easy. So I would definitely have an emergency fund for 3 months worth of outgoings, at least. And that can be kept in a instant access savings account. So another thing I regret about my finances in my 20s is feeling like I was doing well with my money because I had savings just sitting there. I'd started my company. I was running a clothing store basically through Instagram and Instagram influencers. And I was still in that frugal mindset. I wasn't willing to spend money to make money in this business. And I think that was the biggest downfall of that company. And probably one of the reasons why I decided to get a job when I was running it is because I wasn't willing to spend the money. And then I did later on at the end of my 20s, I did open up another business and I had the complete opposite mindset to this. And I scaled that business quite a lot to the point that I was like working from 6 o'clock in the morning to like midnight and realised that there's more to life than that. So yeah, it can go either way, I suppose. But I think sometimes if you're too frugal and you think you're doing well because you've got savings, that could be your biggest downfall. You could be on your way to financial freedom if you just invested that money into stocks and shares. Another mistake I made in my 20s, and when you're in your 20s, you really, really don't see this as something important. I literally wanted to remove any contributions to my pension in my 20s if I could, but I knew I couldn't because of the new government law of having to pay pensions. So I knew I wouldn't remove, but I was paying the bare minimum of pensions. So now I'm 33 and guess what? I've got 11 grand in my pension pot. I am so far behind. If I want to retire earlier, I have nowhere near enough. I should have at least kind of like 1 year's worth of salary saved by now. And if you didn't know, your pension is also something that is invested. So if you think you don't know anything about investing or you don't invest, actually, if you've got a workplace pension, they are investing it on your behalf. So you are investing. And that's how you usually get a decent amount of money in your pension. It's compounding over 30 years or whenever you start work or whenever you start work at paying into your pension. So anyway, I've had quite a few jobs in my 20s, did a bit of job hopping and I had pensions all over the place. And I just thought, I'll just get them when I'm, older. But that's something you shouldn't really assume. So money, as I said, compounding works better when it's together. So, getting 7.7% on the 11 grand is better than 7.7% on the 800 I had floating around or the 1,500 I had from another company. So I actually consolidated all of these pensions together in my 30s and now I've got them in the same app where all my investing happens. So I can keep an eye on it and I can contribute into it if I wish. A huge, huge, huge mistake I made in my 20s. This is late 20s now because I'd started to understand a little bit more about investing and investing in stocks and shares and compound interest. I knew how to do it, but I delayed doing it because I felt like I needed thousands of pounds to start doing it. And if you're thinking that as well, like, I need at least 1,000, it's so not true. So in 2022, I decided, right, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm just gonna put £25 a month into my Hargreaves and Lansdowne account on the FTSE 100. And now we're in 2026 and it's been 4 years and I've got nearly £2,000 in there, which I know that doesn't sound massive, but if I'm putting £25 a month away, that's nothing. That's like a bottle of Prosecco that I can just not have in the month. And now I've nearly got £2,000. So if you're sitting there thinking like, I could never save £2,000, £25 a month on the right stocks and shares and investments will help. And then one last thing on everything I got wrong in my 20s is shortly after I set up that smart £25 fund on the FTSE, I risked £500 on an individual stock, which is just basically putting money into a company, and the company's basically gone bust, I think. So now I've got zero. So don't make that mistake. Just put your money somewhere safe that's got the history of showing returns, S&P 500, FTSE 100. I would do that. But anyway, I hope this is helping. If you're thinking, you'd love to do a renovation and you're not that good with money, I'm not great with money, but these are the kind of things that I've done to enable us to get to this. So yeah, I hope that's helpful, and let me know in the comments if you want to learn anything else or if you want me to expand on anything, and I'll try my best to answer those questions, maybe with a video. Okay guys, so I will be doing another similar video to this where we're talking about kind of finances around property and what's helped us get into property developing basically. So yes, stay tuned for the video next week. Thanks, bye.